So it is an absolutely blazing Tuesday afternoon, but very, very good news here. One being my coilovers got delivered, and two, we already have this thing on the new wheels. I haven't gotten the tires here yet. They're supposed to be here Thursday, but even just stock ride height, new wheels, it looks infinitely better, but not quite low enough. This is not acceptable, and that's what we're gonna fix today. So I'm gonna drag these out of the car, and we'll show you guys what we got. Don't make fun of it. Don't make fun of it. Don't you do it. We have a full set of max speeding rods because I'm a broke college student and there's no in between with this car. It's either low end or $2 grand for a set of coilovers. So I chose the low, which is what I did for that pig back there too, but that turned out okay. So this should be okay too. Yeah, max speeding rods, full set. These are the 20-way, 32-way adjustable dampening. I don't remember if they're 20 or 32. They're one of the two. So yeah, not base model, the step up because this car is heavy, and for the fitment I'm going for, I want this thing to actually be able to stiff that way I don't smack my fenders into my wheels. But yeah, so that's the current plan for today is throw the coilovers on, get this thing sitting right. Fender to lip is the goal, which in the spec of these wheels, which is 19 by 9.5 plus 30, 35, with just a little bit of camber, we should be perfect fender to lip in front and just about perfect dead on in the rear without much. I'll have to roll the inner fenders, but that's easy. So yeah, I'm gonna get this thing jacked up, get these wheels off here, and we'll get knocking out because I can't wait to see this thing lowered. Okay, so we have our wheels off here, access to all the suspension. This looks like it's gonna be a pretty straightforward install, at least on the fronts. But in case you guys haven't installed coilovers, I'm gonna run you through a system that works for me. So these coilovers are a straight 1-inch drop out of the box and up to a 3-inch drop. I know I need about a 2-inch drop, give plus or minus half an inch or so, to get to where I want this car to sit. And that half an inch can also just kind of be taken up by the weight of the car kind of compressing the springs. So what I've done here is I have my two front coilovers out, and I have bottomed this one out in the adjuster. And I did that way I can back it off. I'll kind of see where the movement is and estimate that. But once you have your estimated height of the coilover, you're going to measure it in whatever fashion you want. How I did it on my last set is I measured between the two lock collars once you move those down, and set your other coilover to that same height. That way at least you're the same side to side. Obviously front to rear, they're not going to work the same because different designs and such, but this will help you get your side to side pretty dialed. And it's the same thing I did when I set the Racelands for my 300ZX. So I'm probably going to set you guys up on a little bit of time lapse while I adjust these and get this set up, and then we'll start working on the car. Okay, so this isn't an exact science, this is just eyeball. We have fully bombed out about 3/4 of an inch. I added an inch, which is probably a little bit more. It's going to translate to the car differently, but I figure it'll get me in the rough area. So we 3/4 of an inch fully bombed out. I added an inch, so 1 3/4 inches between the two locking collars. I still need to double check. I don't think the preload has been, or rephrase that, pretty sure these have already been preloaded. Just based off feel, I can't move the locking collars. My Racelands came not loaded, or without the preload set, so I still need to kind of read the instructions and see how but that's gonna be easier set in the car anyway. So I think we're going to go ahead and start tearing apart the factory struts, which are blown out in their entirety, in case you can't see too well. See if this camera will adjust. Yeah, they're completely blown out, useless, done, which is insane that the car even still rides as well as it does, even with the 19s on it now. So it's just the 3 bolts up top, and then just 1 bolt at the bottom. I haven't really messed with a lot of this style of suspension, so I may have to pull the upper ball joint, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. I hope I don't. That'd make my life a lot easier if I didn't have to, but we'll see. I'm not gonna look up any YouTube videos to this. This is just gonna be a fuck around and find out, and we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know the right way to do it, or a way to do it once I get it done. Okay, so there's like 3 hours elapsed because I had to go get food and go buy other parts for this thing. But we have this all tore apart. This was significantly more than even I thought. The upper ball joint has to be taken out, upper control arm completely removed, which on the driver's side at least requires unbolting pretty much the entire wash fluid reservoir so you can flex it out of the way enough to get the upper control arm bolt out.
Not on the passenger side.
Not on the passenger side, but we're finally apart now and I can finally start putting the coilovers in. Cam has been kind enough to lend me a hand, and he is already in the process of putting this all together. He is having a great time and regretting his decision. So yeah, I'm going to throw coilover in on my side and start dealing with putting this back together. I don't think I'm gonna put the lower cover on, although it does kind of support the bumper a little bit because I was already hitting on them before it was low. I know I'm gonna hit on it. I'll probably end up either making a brace of some kind or just trimming them. That way the bumper can't hit, and reinstalling them later. But at least for right now, they don't need to be on. The 19s are already hitting. We don't need them to rip them out. So yeah, keep rolling with this. I hope that just got picked up. So we are fully together. Coilovers are in. The 19's still clear-ish. We'll see once it's on the ground and how soft these things are and how much I have to crank up the dampening. We need to tighten this other side. We need to tighten the upper control arm back, and then that will be these fronts done, at least together. I think I'm still gonna have to go lower with them to get them where I want, but I also don't have the weight of the car on it yet, so we'll see how they look once the car's on it. But we're going to tighten up these things and then we should be good to go. So car was on the ground, it's now back on the ground. We realized once we were putting it back together that my rear bushing on this control arm is shot. I'm not even gonna try and show it. It's destroyed. The bushing isn't even connected to the sleeve anymore. So yeah, let's see for shits and giggles if we can get, yeah, fucked. So any fitment now isn't even gonna matter because that's gonna throw it off completely. I know the driver's side isn't too far off on that as well. It's sitting directly on my fenders right now, which is not drivable, unfortunately, because it looks fucking amazing. I should have recorded it while it was down, but I didn't. So
just need camera plates.
Yeah, need camera plates. I didn't realize these didn't come with camera plates, so I'll probably be hopping on somewhere and trying to find camera plates and or seeing what camera adjustments even here. I know there's some, but I gotta look because I'm still figuring this fucking chassis out. But it's already getting late here. I still have work in the morning, so I think we're gonna clean up here and come back to this tomorrow to do the rears. And I'm gonna hunt around tonight and try and find control arms now, because that shit's fucked. So yeah, pick this back up tomorrow. I gotta run this thing. So it is Wednesday, day after we're messing with it. My front control arm bushings are shot. Pretty sure I already added that bit in there last night, but I ordered polyurethane bushings for it. I'm SOL as it sits, but we'll worry about that when they come in. But we still need to do the rear coilovers. Me and Cam already pulled this rear interior apart, which I didn't actually know the gas tank was in the trunk. This is my first experience ever with these chassis. I've just been kind of figuring it out as I went, so this is insane. I was baffled by that. So we got that apart. This panel just pulls straight back and pops off. And then we just got the rear wheels off. This one looks far more straightforward. Should just be 1 bolt in the bottom and then 3 bolts up top, which you can kind of see back there. I hope it's that easy anyway, because the fronts were a god-awful experience. So we're gonna fight with this and we'll update you guys once we kind of get everything disassembled on the way. These rears are already going infinitely better. We already have the rear bolts out of both sides, which, side note, factory zinc coating is beautiful to see. Cam is working on getting...
If I didn't have to walk a football field's distance away, it'd be out.
Yeah, what he said. We're working at the very front of the shop and both mine and his boxers are at the back. But while he's doing that, we're gonna dig into our box of fun here and get the rear coilovers out and get them kind of set at the same height, just like we did with the front. And I guess we'll end up seeing how it sits everything together. Okay, so we have the rear coilovers out. I have this one on the right side completely bottomed out, which we are sitting at just about 5/8 of an inch. I'm gonna set these up the same way I did the front and just add an inch onto it, which I know doesn't translate 100%, but I got the front really close. And the rear's probably gonna tuck a little bit more than the front. Well, it's going to tuck a little bit more in the front, so I think it should be almost spot on in that case. So I'm gonna get these set up, and then hopefully Cam will have the old ones out and we will be good to go there. Okay, so Cam is reassembling this rear hatch area, getting the covers back on, which still fit over the coilovers, which is quite impressive. But we got coilovers in. Lighting's not the best. We did have to drill out the holes in the coilover itself to get these factory bolts to fit through, which was a little sketchy, but it worked. So we have lock collars all tightened. Yeah. A little sketchy, it'll be fine. So lock collars are tightened. I just threw this wheel back on. This is about where we're sitting on the front, and it was picking up my fender once we dropped it. So I don't know how this thing's going to sit, but we will see. I also got to account for the fact that this thing's only like 1/4 of a tank. So once I get more weight in it, it's only going to drop more. So we might just go ahead and max out the dampening. Yeah, 1/4 of a tank. So directly over the rear axle, but we'll get there. So we're gonna get this other wheel on and get at least the rear dropped off the stands and see how this thing looks. I'm very excited. What you got? That's it. That's it. God damn it. Ultimate conclusion. Not enough low. Okay, I don't know how well it's gonna be heard over the air compressor running, so I'll try and speak up a little bit. So rear is back together on the ground, as you guys saw. We are moving back up to the fronts because the rear control arm bushing is shot. I'll have to look back. I'm pretty sure I showed a clip of that. If not, I will throw in the phone clip that I have. So we're gonna pull these front control arms, and I already have new polyurethane bushings on the way. So these will have to get burned out and everything. I'll see where I'm at with clips. That may be a separate video. I'm not really sure yet. So yeah, we're gonna keep working on that. I think while I'm in here, I want to trim the front segments of the skid plate, our bumper support, just that way I can have something to support the bumper a little bit. And these 19s were already rubbing on my fender liners, so I'm probably going to take those off while I'm in here as well, and just kind of tuck away everything as nicely as I can, since this car is going to be low, just to make it look as good as I can with it being low. And less rubbing the better. It's gonna fucking rub on something anyway, but try and reduce it while we're already here and ahead. The rear is definitely gonna need more adjustment. I think I'm gonna end up cranking up the rebound and hopefully reduce some of the very soft ride quality as you guys saw. That way I can get that a little bit lower, because ideally that's the one I really want fender to lift. The front's gonna be a little more iffy on just what I can get away with the factory camber adjustment, but I think I'll be able to make something work. So yeah, let's get these out. Okay, so me and Cam tweaked out was a pain in the ass because everything was seized and wanted to round out. But we have the lower control arms out of both sides, and yeah, it is completely separated, completely broken apart. Passenger side's actually visually worse. Yeah, very, very destroyed. But poly bushings are on the way. I don't know when they're gonna be here. I paid for the expedited shipping, so hopefully they're here by Friday, because there's a little car meet Saturday that I would really like to go to and have this thing dialed in for, but we'll see if I get out lucky.
Bro, but like, and it rode so well. That's the problem. Like, dog, I have a journey, and if anyone knows about a journey, it's a journey, you know? And like, this is worse than the Journ, and the Journ rode like shit. This thing rode amazing. Love Lexus, I guess.
The only answer you ever need. Right there. So it is Sunday, which this video will probably be hopefully edited and posted tonight or tomorrow morning. But we're out here. Bushings aren't supposed to be here till Monday, which I think I've said way too many times in this video already, but we are out here burning the bushings out of the old control arms. We already got this a little bit of a head start. The bushings already knocked out of the inner side, which is unsurprising because they were destroyed. So now we're just getting these burned out as much as I can. Then I'm gonna get a wire brush and take it to them. So yeah, we will update y'all once we get both of these burned out, or all four of them burned out rather. Okay, so in about half an hour or so, we got all of our bushings burned clear out, just as far as they're gonna burn. So now we are going to dig a wire wheel up from somewhere in the shop and get these set up on probably our same little jack stand jig we got going, and run wire wheels through them and try and get as clean of a surface as we can. That way I can just drop the poly bushings in tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. All right, so me and Cam just went ahead and wire wheeled the first set. They look infinitely better. Crocs being used as the vise. Got that Oreo custom going. She's a baller. I'll try and actually set up the camera as like some B-roll for this next one. We're letting it cool down a little more because it's still hot. Yeah, so we'll just be back in a second. Pretty well cleaned out. They look a hell of a lot better with nothing in them. Last thing I really want to worry about today, and last thing that'll be in this video hopefully, is I just want to get these sway bar end links chopped off because we had to cut them off the sway bar in the car. Need to get them off the sway bar in the car too, but I'm less worried about that. And then probably just give these things a quick wash. I got some pretty high strength degreaser here. So give these things a quick bath, make them look a little bit better and not as annoying to handle going back in the car. Hopefully tomorrow, we'll see. Just want to say, 10 times out of 10, this is exactly how you have to remove a sway bar inlay. Right, Nate? If you're up north, yeah. Anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon, you'll get away with it. There's number 2. So, yeah, those were destroyed. They were just spinning whenever me and Cam were trying to take them off the other night, so we had to cut them off the sway bar, and I wasn't even going to try and fight them on the bottom. I just cut them. I have one that Cam gave me that was actually off his Mark III over there, and so I still got to order one more and cut them off the car. Not too worried about that right now. Just trying to get these to a point where I can mess them tomorrow. So I'd say I have some pretty decent strength degreaser. I'm gonna grab that and probably just a nice stiff bristle brush and give these a wash real quick. I think I still have some paint laying around here that I can just give these a quick paint, make them look a little bit better than what they are, because at the end of the day, they are just surface rusted, nasty, and gross. Getting degreased is more the bigger priority. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up out here a little bit, and we'll see what we can do to make these look nicer.
Oh my god.
So we got these cleaned up. They look infinitely better, just very rusty. As I just used some general Harbor Freight degreaser and an old wheel brush, which I tossed somewhere. I don't know. There's an old wheel brush, one that I didn't feel comfortable putting on wheels. I'm gonna hunt around. I'm pretty sure I still have some spray paint somewhere, and or just some like undercoating, and try and get a little bit of a coat of paint on these, just make it look a little bit nicer. Yeah, let's see what I got. Okay, so real quick, we have this very precariously hung off of the very quick and dirty full tape job. It's not gonna be perfect, and I also didn't want to take much time and tape this. So we've got ball joint covered, bowl holes covered, then the bearing holes covered. So I'm gonna set this up again and lay some paint real quick. Got these painted, just some rubberized undercoating. It'll dry well enough and looks infinitely better right now. Those painted, those are drying. Bushings aren't gonna be in until tomorrow, and at that point I'll be coming over here at like 11:30 or something stupid to get those in, try and get this car back together. But this video is already way longer than it needs to be, so I'm gonna cut it here and edit, throw it up. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the deal. We'll see y'all in the next one.